Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Patched Up Podcast. This is Gerard Ek, a buddy of mine since 6th grade.
I got downgraded to buddy. We used to be friends. I got downgraded without my knowing, I guess.
Sorry. We were best friends until he got engaged, and then kind of went downhill from there. So you are living in Pittsburgh right now.
Currently.
And you're going to be moving back to Wichita.
Pittsburgh is a city in Kansas, not in Pennsylvania, by the way.
Doesn't matter. They're all way that way.
If it's further than 2 hours, it's basically not. It's all the same. Yeah, I'll be moving back to Wichita metropolitan area in May, where I'll have a bachelor pad for about a month. So Patrick will be riding my couch for about a month, and then
even though I have my own place, I just won't come back to here.
There's no point. Maybe we'll just be recording podcasts all day long, because I won't have a job until after the wedding.
Yo, really?
I mean, I'll try to make some cash somewhere, but
right. I don't technically have a job right now either.
So.
We're living high.
That's what I'm saying. When I move back here, and we're both unemployed,
this is gonna be
living in college.
This is gonna be a dangerous point of our lives.
Works for me.
This is another reason why we're dangerous, because it's 9 a.m., 9:09, and Gerard's forcing me to drink.
Well, it's been a good 2 weeks since we've seen each other, so we have to.
Gotta catch up on the beers together.
Hey, I went and played golf again twice.
No way.
Yeah.
So you a little bit better or what?
No, first of all, I'm high class. I only wear nice clothes now. To the golf course.
Gerard's the best kind of disc golfer to play with. Because he'll have this putt, and I'm like, Gerard, there's no reason you should have made this putt. But in his mind, he's like, I made it. I have to make this. And so I'm just standing behind the hole, catching his disc, throwing it back to him. When he throws it, he goes, oh, give me that back. Give me that back. And we spend 10 extra minutes.
At least.
Each hole. Because you think you can make this 35-foot putt.
Really, I'm just buying time because I'm a slower beer drinker, so I just try to finish it.
I think what I want to kind of talk about is because I admire your thought process and like how you go about your life when it comes to having a family and moving into like transitioning into that, because like you said, you're engaged, and we're on like two different sides of the spectrum. We're best friends, but like two different sides. Like, I do
wonder if we met each other like for the first time nowadays, how that would go.
Oh my gosh. There's still times that I hang out with you and I'm like, I hate that dude. Why would I ever hang out with him?
Yeah.
So we're on these two opposite sides of the spectrum. But usually my first question is like, what drives you? What drives you? What gets you doing what you do, like every day, kind of thing.
Oh man.
What I kind of want to gear that towards is because I feel like we don't really talk about as 22-year-old young strapping 22-year-old men,
burly, chiseled men.
Just hairy-chested men.
A lot of testosterone in this room right now.
Just bouncing off the walls. Yeah, what's the driving force behind where you're at with about to get married, getting that job? Like, why do you do the things you do?
I didn't do my homework for this question.
Wasn't prepared. Good. That's how I want it.
I would say I was raised in a good household, and I was very blessed with the parents and the siblings that I was given. For those of you who don't know, I'm one of 10 children, and the amount of blessings I would say that fact in itself has given me this outlook of the importance of family. And it really goes, in my specific experience, it's really been in the extended family as well. I mean, I'm very close with a lot of my cousins, aunts and uncles I see regularly, and I've just really been very blessed in the family aspect. And so to see that importance has always made me want to be, just really be a part of that. And I would say, so it was always on my radar too. Although I have, had discerned for a while. I say a while. It seemed like a while.
Once I in high school got single after dating a girl, I was like, maybe the priesthood is my thing.
That one time I told us to his camp, I stood up at the end of the week and
That's when I knew.
That was my discernment period, and then I quit discerning.
By the time I sat down, I was done.
I liked girls too much. Hope that gets edited out. No, really, I really have been blessed in the family aspect. So, I know that I have always wanted little Gerards running around, and let's be honest, the world would be a better place. And so,
oh gosh, I'm afraid of that time.
It's coming quicker than you think, and that was not a premarital joke. That's not what that was.
Not what I took it as either.
I meant as in I'm getting married in 2 months from today, and
whoa,
yeah, that is kind of crazy.
2 months from today,
but
she's gonna get you all locked down.
Yeah, my freedom will be
no more.
Yeah, I needed you to finish that so I didn't get in trouble. But just kidding. No, I knew from early on in Michaela and I's relationship, this month we'll actually be together for 5 years. And that's way too long. But we started dating in high school, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I knew from early on that she would be a great mother, and that's one of the things that attracted me to her so much. And it's been, life hasn't been too bad.
Yeah.
I try to twist it to be negative.
You do a good job. You really do a good job.
That's like the thing I'm good at. I'm a pretty good pessimist.
We always talk about your hobbies and how you need a hobby. That's a good hobby. Well, it's not a good hobby, but you're good at it.
So politicians, there's some people who campaign for politicians, and they call them spinners, and so they'll field questions about this politician or something, and the media is just trying to get something negative, and they spin everything around and make it a positive point. Ooh. I am the exact opposite. And I take pride in that.
You could... Wow.
I could get paid for it, probably, if I advertised well enough.
Yeah. This is the first advertisement right
That's here. Right. Need a darkness in your day? Pay me to do it.
I'll spin it around. You think
having
your life
too good of a day? It is too good to be true.
Oh man, I would. Yeah,
it is something I've been working on and actually pretty self-conscious about. But anyway.
Don't say that because I still want to joke about it.
No, I'm totally kidding. I'm not self-conscious about that at all. But I have been trying. But I have been working on it.
Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I think I see the big family thing playing a big role in your life. Gerard's the kind of, he has such a big family that it's like has been annoying pretty much being his best friend through our entire life. And I don't even know. I just labeled myself as his best friend, but it's been annoying being in that role because
you're the one that downgraded me to buddy. Now we're just buddies.
No, I'm your best friend. You're just a buddy to me.
Oh, shoot. That is a dagger. Oh, man.
But Gerard's the kind of guy that, like, you'll have to get on his radar, like, a week early, or else you're not going to be able to hang out with him. And so now I text him, like, expecting, okay, it'll be within a week or two to, like, be able to see him. But most excuses will come down to my cousin's birthday, my aunt's brother's sister, mom's dog just died, so we have a funeral for that.
My aunt's brother's sister would be my grandma.
Okay, I didn't think that far down. Okay, her dog died, and you were, so that's why you couldn't hang out with me. He just have these crazy excuses that 6 of my nephews were born on this day, so we're having a big party. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But that is definitely a big role of how you are family, just you're family focused, I think.
Remember how I did that one thing spontaneous one time?
No,
remember that?
No, I don't. Wait, what was it?
We could probably think of something. In Pittsburgh, I'm fairly spontaneous.
We did go to Taco Bell at like 3 a.m. that one day.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's even in your schedule.
I
feel like that's in your budget. You have a budget for 3 a.m. Taco Bell runs.
That's really funny because Michaela makes fun of me for never having plans. I'm serious.
What?
I'm serious. I promise you. And this part is actually just the Pittsburgh factor.
Yeah.
But like she's really good at remembering dates and things going on, and I'm just like rely on her to tell me what's going on sometimes.
Bad habit.
But sometimes, yeah. I told her actually before we got engaged. I said, last week I said that I told this story and I said that I was 40% joking. Now I think I was only 30% joking. When I said, you know, if we get married, you're going to have to be my secretary. And you're going to have to tell me everything that's going on. And I did say it. At the time, I thought I was 100% kidding. In hindsight, I'm like, that is really truthful. Because I'm just bad at remembering stuff. The other day,
oh, no.
The other day, I texted her, because we worked together, asking her when my goddaughter's birthday was. And she knew it immediately.
Wow.
Because I forgot. I remembered one because she's 5 now. So after 5 years, I remembered it.
Yeah.
This other one will be 2 this summer. So I haven't quite nailed that date down yet.
She'll be 2 in the summertime.
That's right.
Oh, man.
But sometimes I'm spontaneous. Oh, the golf thing was fairly spontaneous.
Yeah, that was. That was.
Wow, I'm proud of that.
Because that was like a Friday, and we called you on Friday. Yeah. Or it was Saturday morning, and we called you Friday.
Yeah.
So that was pretty dope.
I left family time for that. There were no plans, but just general family time.
That's the hardest. You have the family time, and then you have the planned family time, and somewhere in that you had the 5 times a year hang out with Patrick time.
That's right.
And that was it.
That's right.
And that was it.
But when you visit Pittsburgh, we go pretty hard.
Yeah.
We pack it in a weekend.
We do pack in a weekend.
Knock off a couple tires. And then...
So this is Gerard's senior year at Pittsburgh.
That's
and
right.
so I've been, for 4 years, driving over to Pittsburgh to visit him. And it's just been an absolute blast every single time. We went... This was one of the first times we went. And we spent like 2 hours or
Probably
3
a total,
hours.
at least. Yeah.
In
it was
Walmart?
like 4.
In Walmart.
What did we
Remember-
go to Walmart for?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
the
remember-
first time?
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, probably
'cause
2 hours.
You were just like, want to go to Walmart? And I was like, is that what you do in Pittsburgh?
No.
But it was a blast.
Yeah.
Because we found the long boards.
Oh, yeah.
Or the short, medium boards.
Well, they had short, medium, and long.
And so we just started riding them around. I ended up buying a board from there. That board's right there.
That was a great time. We went because I think I actually needed groceries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you had zero food ever.
Right. And I think I actually needed a couple things. And then we ended up spending 2 hours riding around.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
Pittsburgh's fun. Pittsburgh's a lot of
I have
fun.
a good time down there. But yeah, back to the family, I guess. I've just always valued that time, and I've always, because growing up, I say growing up, but when I was little, that was all of my. I had friends from school. I had a lot of good friends that we'd play sports and all that, but my older brothers turned into a lot of father figures for me, and my cousins became my friends, and my brothers close to me. That's who I would spend all my time with. So that's how much I valued it. But then I got into junior high, and that's when you don't care about important things anymore, and you start just acting like a brat all the time. At least in our experience.
That's only you.
Okay, my experience. But just living away in Pittsburgh and all the family things that have happened during my time in Pittsburgh has just kind of reinstilled my how much I value my family and my time with them.
Right.
And how much I appreciate each, now I'm getting older, I can notice things that I didn't used to notice in each person. So now I try to take advantage at least of those opportunities and sprinkle in a little friend time as well sometimes.
Dash it in a little bit. Yeah. No, so we're recording this on the Monday after Easter. And
Yes, happy Easter.
yeah,
He has risen.
it's risen. Yesterday was weird.
Yesterday was pretty weird.
I got up, and so my parents are Corona age. Is what I'm calling them. Corona age. So all of our siblings have been just like, we can't visit them. Like we just, I would try to like say hi like as much as we can, but like we super have to be careful around that. So we did not have an Easter as a family at all.
Really?
And it was so weird. Like, I was here until 5 p.m. just working on videos. And I was like, and I called my sister just to make sure because I felt so weird. I was like, hey, because all my siblings, I'm the youngest of 6. So, like, all of them have kids. No.
Yeah.
Most of them have kids, one, but they're all married.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, most of them have kids. They're all married. And so they have their own little families. And I called one of them and was just like, hey, Liz, just making sure we weren't planning on doing anything, were we? Like, it felt so weird. I ended up, like, going over to Max's house with his family. And then Noel's house, too. And I was just like, this is so weird. And so, like, that definitely is, like, that was a reminder of, like, yo, family is, like, super real and super like important.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I've been so blessed that at times it can be taken advantage of, and then there's things that bring me back at least, and then I'm like, this is, family's the only thing that's forever. Well, strike that. I'm saying it's family's guaranteed. Like you can't change who you come into the world with. So you have to just make the best of what you're dealt with in that regard. But it can also be a positive thing because you're guaranteed. That's your parents and your siblings. Yeah. Your extended family and everything. But it's nice when you can turn it into friendships too.
Right. The secretary thing.
I mean, it's a joke, but it's also serious.
But like legitimately, and like this way, what I learned really quickly is I'm just letting Noelle order food for me. Like if we ever go out to eat, I just hand her the menu. And what I realize is she'll always order something that's healthier for me. Mm. And she won't order as much. I have the worst when it comes to looking at food. And I'm like, I will eat so much right now. And then I get it in front of me and I'm like, I will eat half of this.
That is so smart. Oh my gosh.
And so now it's just like, any of those things, like decisions wise, I'm just like, yo, go for it. Like,
that is so smart.
It's awesome. It is.
We're
so awesome.
Michaela and I are the opposite.
Really?
She can't, I mean, I don't order food for her. I just mean she's indecisive. Well, we're both indecisive. Yeah. So that's something we've been trying to work on actually. Mm-hmm. That's why looking for a place to live has been not a nightmare, but it's been challenging. It's been like, oh, should we buy or rent? Well, okay, which factors are going to make the decision for us? For a while it was, well, we can't afford a down payment or whatever case. Right. Like, oh, I'm glad we got the decision made. Okay, well then something happens. Like, well, now we can't afford a down payment. So now what do we do? Yeah. This whole adult thing is gonna. But anyway.
This whole adult thing. Kind of messed up.
But anyway. That cracks me up. We're just the opposite. Because then we're like, oh yeah, because when it comes to food for me, I'm trying to get bang for the buck. I study economics at Pittsburgh State, and that actually doesn't say a lot about me other than I try to just get the most out of my dollar.
Which is solid.
So
super solid.
If I'm always Michaela makes fun of me for this. I'm always doing math to see how much like per dollar I'm gonna, like at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. I don't always look at the price, but I look at the price per pound or price per ounce or something like that.
Dude, that's genius.
Try to get bang for the buck.
That's genius. I've only tried that like twice.
Yeah.
And it was in the same grocery trip, and I searched for a total of like 30 seconds on the package of like, where's the price per pound thing? And then I just got pissed off and I was like, I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time in the grocery store when I could be somewhere else making money.
Yeah.
And so I just got mad.
Or the disc golf course.
Mostly just the disc golf course. Or camping.
At least you're not spending money with those hobbies.
Yeah, that's true. Besides the amount of freaking disc I throw in the river.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh. Sorry, I just got fired up.
Speaking of amount of discs, I love the fact that I, of all people, own 10 discs right now.
What?
Yeah.
That's more than half of what I have right now.
Because I have the 4 that I regularly use. And then I have 3 backups. I have a driver mid-range and putter backup. And those 7 I keep in my car.
Smart.
And then I think I have 3 more drivers that just aren't as good. Because remember, we went through them that one day. you went through them and told me what to use.
Yeah. Okay, I do remember that. Yep. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I got them for free, so that was an economical move for me. I didn't have to worry about price per disc because I got 10 discs for free.
Right
Thank
on.
you, City of Colwich.
Coolwich. Little city of Coolwich. Okay, so I have a question on. This is the. I need you to be really real with me on this.
Okay.
With your habits and like what you do day to day, and I explained to you a little bit, but like, so the biggest part of this podcast is I want to have like realistic things that people can listen to and be like, okay, I could do that, or not even just I could do that, just to have eventually have like hundreds of people, just normal people, not like freaking millionaires, like what's his name, Buffett, like
Warren
Buffett, who like has 2 hours of reading every single day just set aside, and that's what he does for 2 hours a day.
Right.
Is he just reads, and it's like, that's awesome, and eventually that would be really cool if I could do that. Like, but I want also to not listen to a podcast about that. I want to listen to a podcast about, well, okay, what's a dude that's 22?
Yeah, same age as you.
Same age as
10 days younger.
Huh. Who would have known?
I could win in a fight, so that's all that.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
You
can
hope,
post in the comments.
Comment post, who is more athletic? And
just by looking at us.
As me and my hoodie and habits per day. Well, I think I have. I mean, I kind of have two different sets of habit. One is good and one is bad.
Gotcha.
On my bad days, I'll stay in bed longer than I need to. And it's not like one of those things. I can still have a good day if I stay in bed too long. So it's not one of those things, if I fix this problem, it's going to lead to the rest, you know? But that is definitely one of the first things I notice is that, well, yeah, I slept for 9.5 hours. I don't need that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's when I don't have anything to do, or I can easily get out of something and I'm being lazy. And those are the days I'm not proud of, because then that leads to I watch too much Netflix, I don't get my homework done, or at most, those are the days where my motivation is so limited. I'll have like, I'll check. I'll have, you know, everyone has their kind of mental to-do lists.
Yeah.
So on those types of days, on my bad days, I'll check like one box off, maybe two if they're smaller, and then I'll call that a day. You know what I mean? And I think we can all
call it a wash.
Yeah, and I think we can all kind of relate to that. But that's what I recognize in my bad days. And then maybe, you know, like I said, maybe I'll do something, get over here. Maybe I'll work. Well, I usually don't work out there because I don't have the energy because I slept too long. But I'll do some low energy tasks, like maybe I'll do some homework that is not real hard or challenging, but it just needs to be done.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do another low energy task. Maybe I'll do the dishes or something, and then I'll call that a day. But my good days, I'd say, are not totally rigid. I'm not like an accountant, where I make fun of it. I make fun of accountants because their lives are so much more structured than mine. I'm only referring to a few people in my head right now, so I guess I shouldn't make a blanket statement about accountants.
But we enjoy blanket statements.
Right. But on my more structured days, you know, I'm getting a couple things done. I find in myself an interesting balance because I enjoy a lot of alone time.
Yeah.
And that makes me think I'm introverted, okay? However, I feel like I'm at my best when I'm around other people and people that I truly love. and those are my good days, whether it's with good friends or family or just Michaela and I, and I'm getting a lot accomplished, and those are my better days. It's easier to get out of bed. It's easier to, okay, for example, right now in Pittsburgh, I don't have class to go to every day, but I go to work.
Yikes.
But I go to work at the Catholic Student Center, and I'm working with some of my good friends, or some of my closest friends in Pittsburgh. And I'm exhausted, and some days it's still hard to get out of bed, and I still have bad days where I use this excuse or that excuse or whatever. But I go to work, I'm with my friends, I have a good day at work, and then I'll come home and I'll still get some things done by myself because I just had that kind of fed off their energy. So that makes me think I'm not as introverted.
Yeah,
So,
right.
I don't know how to analyze myself there. But as far as routines, I really I wouldn't say I have one structured routine. I kind of just need to have an attitude decision for myself.
Yeah.
And some days I am not mentally strong enough to make that decision to have a good day. Because for me, sometimes it really can come down to a decision. Like, I'm going to
have a good day.
I'm gonna have a good day today, and some days I'm not mentally strong enough to do that, and that is a fault in myself.
Gotcha.
To where I don't make that. I hit, I don't hit snooze. I turn off the alarm and I stay in bed for another hour. That's my weaker days, and I'm not. And again, that's stuff I'm working on.
Gotcha. So if there was one thing that you could just look back on, and this doesn't even have to be like something that's like super great or anything, but it's just like, I do this every day, or I do this a majority of my days, like from since I can remember. Like, it's just something that's been built up, something maybe that you don't really think about, but it's just always, because I feel like no matter what, we've always been taught, like from our parents, family, some things that maybe someone else hasn't been thought of, even thought of. So like, is there anything that's just like, I do this without even thinking?
Well, I have literally just thought of this right now, and I would say on my good days, one thing I do on every single one of my good days, I keep referring to them as if I notice it during that day, and that's not always it. I'm just kind of looking back, and realize that during my good days, I decide, I don't tell myself I'm gonna have a good day. I kind of just start it.
Yeah.
But I would say on the one thing I do consistently is be thankful. If I'm having a good day, I'm noticing things that I'm grateful for, noticing things that I've been blessed with that I didn't really do, or maybe I have done, and then I kind of thank God for the strength of, or the strength to do this, or some action that I have done in the past because of His grace.
Amen.
That, maybe because of that I did back then, now I'm reaping this reward. Or again, if something I haven't done, I'm just notice how blessed I am. But then, on my bad days, as I'll call them now, but don't recognize at the time, I'm complaining in my head all day. I think I've improved in my life on outward complaining and always, noticing the bad and explaining it to other people and saying woe is me, because that's pity party stuff.
Right. I think it's super easy to do.
Yeah, and I've done better at doing that, but in my own head, I will still sometimes, I'll still do that, and those are my bad days. Where I'm noticing only, it stinks that I can't go to class. I have to do everything online. It's not fun, but you just got to do it. Or it stinks that Michaela lost all 3 of her jobs in Pittsburgh and had to move 3 hours away again. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's like, those are the kind of things that, or those are the kind of days when I'm only looking at these kind of things, only allowing myself to see the negative side. I'm going to have a bad day. Or And then again, on the flip side, I don't ever even do it intentionally. I think it again goes back in the just growing up. We would say our night prayers together when we were younger, and the first thing we would start with, it would either be the first thing that we would start with or the last thing that we would end with, so that we either start our prayer time with Thanksgiving, or we would go to sleep after our prayers thinking about all of our blessings. Right. So we kind of do both sides there.
Amen.
But that's kind of I'm just thinking back now, and that really is something that I do without thinking about. And that's, again, ties into the family. I've been so blessed with a good family.
Right.
To teach me those kinds of habits. So
Definitely have. Okay. And then lastly is what I usually ask is, what is something that in the last week, day, whatever, like a reading / scripture, something you read in the book / something you heard / watched / dad told you / brother told you that you,
like a one-liner?
Yeah, literally something that's in kind of like, I feel like we always hear something or have something that we're always like, whoa, and then it kind of just sticks with us for a bit, and you kind of just keep going back to it maybe, without even paying attention. Maybe is there anything? I feel like Catholics and Christians do it a lot. Yeah. Like, I feel like there's always there's that. So this scripture part really stuck with me today.
Yeah. Or here's like people use it as a get to know you type of question now. What's your favorite quote?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of question is that?
Just let me pull this one out. There you go. This describes me real well.
There's so many people that have been way smarter than me that have lived since the beginning of time, and you want me to pull one-liner out of all of that? What is that?
That is something that I know that, like, I am so glad you said that to me when I was first writing the Strong 30.
Yeah.
And you were like, you read it over, or half of it, or whatever. I'm still
not
convinced you read it. You read the whole thing.
I did.
Really?
When I was editing it, yes.
Yikes. Yeah. I'm a bad writer, but it's fine. Like, I have an ebook out.
You're not promoting yourself very well in this video.
That's what I do. But when you said that, you were just like, dude, relate, or like, take it back to things, because there's people that are a lot smarter than us.
Yeah. And
it's like, it's not bad to, because I'm like, well, that's not me though. That's not my words. Like,
yeah.
But it's not bad to take it from other people and be like,
right.
This guy said something 500 years ago, and it's still super relatable right now.
Yeah, that's what I love about. I mean, they're really, people could make careers on, and people have made careers on only writing about or only studying people that are smarter, basically people that are smarter than them.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who get paid well to only study like one person. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Except Shakespeare. I do not appreciate William Shakespeare.
Really?
No, I do not. I did not like him in high school, and I haven't read him since.
Yeah. I mean,
the guy was a jerk.
I never.
He's making us read this garbage in high school. That's mean. There's a lot of better things to read.
There's a lot of people who are probably really mad at you for saying that.
That is true.
But yeah. But like I agree with you. Like maybe if after I study, like, I don't know, I feel like I have to be incredibly like smart to be able to read that and be like,
first of all, you have to learn a new language. You don't even talk right. I mean, okay.
He doesn't even talk. I mean, jeez, start using modern words.
Geez, seriously.
Gosh. Okay, but yeah.
Okay, let me think of.
And if you don't have anything, like I usually have something that sticks out.
Yeah, and I've actually been reading, so I need to. I just need to think about what I've been reading.
Yeah. I'll usually, because I like putting a little bit of. I usually have something like on the forefront because I am going to ask this question. Gotcha. So I'll say it. And
okay,
then
you start.
You start thinking while
okay.
I'm talking. So I actually have it written on that board, and I did a whole. So here's a little plug-in. I just yesterday recorded for like 5 hours. Recorded this new series that it's a 3-part series. I might split it up maybe, but right now it's a 3-part video series of letting go, because Max and I talked about how my struggle with just like, dude, I can get in front of a camera and mic and talk about a good theory, something that's like, oh, best case scenario, but then I can get off the camera and go do the exact opposite,
which is the most frustrating part of being a human,
right? And I'm struggling with that, because then I'm like, okay, if this is really what I like, this is what I've been wanting to do for so long, but is that truly good to do? If I'm spending a lot of time talking, like, I have to balance that out with spending more time silence and stuff. So it's been I haven't been posting a lot just because of that. Max said I need to remember to speak from my experience. And I think what I've experienced the most in my spiritual life within the last like year to 2 years is the act of letting go and letting him. Mm-hmm. And one aspect. So look for the series that's coming out. I think you would like it. I'm legitimately, I only recorded it, haven't listened to it, but I'm legitimately like, it's one of those moments where it's like, that's freaking sweet.
That's awesome.
I know that wasn't me. Like, you know, like,
yeah, I got you.
Like, I know that's how I know there's a higher power, because I'm not that smart.
I got you. Look at the smart guy on the camera.
Look at this guy. Whose chair is that? Not my chair.
Whose chair is that? We haven't even used that many inside jokes, but there's gonna be plenty of moments that people are, if anyone will ever watch this,
no one's
or listen to this, like,
especially by this time, no one's watching.
Listen to these. That's so true.
We're essentially talking off record.
Who are these guys? Yeah. Who are these guys? This guy over the couch over here. This guy over here.
But the quote, and I use it in that series, is let go of who you think you should be so you can be who you are. And I think we get so caught up in that.
Yeah,
damn it, I'm so short. Like, damn it, I should have woke up at 7 instead of waking up at 9. Like,
and then that consumes your day that you slept into it. Yeah.
And then you have that frustration and shame that's built around your entire day.
Wow, that's crazy true.
And so the act of letting go is accepting of where you're at.
Yeah.
Not being okay with, like, I'm right here. I don't have to go forward. I don't but like, I am right here.
Well, and
this
that's
is
the problem
reality of who I am.
Yeah.
I am right here. I want to go up, but I can't. Being frustrated and shameful of where I'm at right now is not going to help me go up.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's what that whole series is about.
Huh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's the problem with. I mean, you mentioned it already. That means people are, there's a lot of people. Oh, this is who I am. I'm the way I am. You just need to accept that. That ain't right.
Right.
Yeah. So I see what you mean. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, with self understanding, and I think what I tried to dive into on that series, because I talk to people a lot about my spirituality and the way I see sins. And the way I see myself and stuff, and I feel like a majority of the time I explain it, people are like, so you're okay with sinning? So you're okay with not being where you should be, kind of thing? And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying at all. So I really tried to like dive deep into that.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, that's funny because that's really funny that you say that, because I'll use my memory as the exact opposite of of the phrase, not the meaning. But you asked what I've been kind of reflecting on. And I was reading a book. I actually just finished. I'm reading the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yo.
Fantastic books. And I don't really care that they're youthful fiction because they're just good books.
But I feel like they're for everyone, though.
Right, because there's so much symbolism and everything in there. So there's this one in this book. Sorry if you haven't read, I'll spoil it. The king dies, but right before his son, who had been missing for 10 years, got to see him. They found basically the prince came back just in time, basically. Yeah. And the king gave him his blessing and anything. And I was kind of reflecting on that just because I've been thinking of the theme of holding on to certain things, it's just kind of funny that you say letting go, because I mean, holding on to the good things, obviously I'm not arguing your point at all.
Right,
I'm just laughing that it's the opposite side. But I've just been reflecting on some things that I need to hold on to drive me forward.
Yeah. I
need to hold on to certain memories. Gosh, of course that moment stuck out to me, of course, so much because I had similar experiences with my own mother's dying, and mother apostrophe s. I don't have plural mothers. But with my own mother passing away, I kind of had a similar moment where I came and she had just seen that I was there and was just able to acknowledge that I was there before she kind of fell asleep and then didn't wake up again a day later. But not only just that memory, but multiple, and not even only in regards to that big moment in my life, but all kinds of moments that I need to hang on to remember how important this person is in my life.
Yeah.
Remember how good doing this made me feel, or how thankful I am for this event, or whatever it may be. I have to hold on to some things to keep me going forward. Kind of using our past to move forward, I guess, is that kind of that's kind of the theme.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Like using, because I think I can fall into using my past to beat myself down.
Absolutely.
And that's why I made that, because I'm like,
well, and
let
just
go
like
of that.
yeah,
but
and exactly. So just like there's the bad, that your theme can be abused by, well, I'm okay where I'm at, and you just need to accept that. You just need to accept who I am. That's your problem. Right. That's not right. Everyone needs to always be, striving toward. If Catholics, we believe we always need to be striving toward heaven. And so it's not right to just say, that's your problem to accept who I am. Exact same on this side. You hold on to the wrong things, and you're gonna be stuck in a rut forever.
Right.
Was my
Amen. Yeah.
my life for a couple of years, holding on to one negative thing, and it controls my entire life for way too long.
And it can still happen.
Yeah.
The whole time of like doing that, and every time I'm gonna put this in pretty much every video, because I am aware that like at one point I go, again, I'm no way saying that I'm perfect at this. I am in no way saying that I'm even good at this. And then I go, I didn't even freaking go to college. Because like, I can't emphasize enough, I'm literally doing all of this to document, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, think how funny this is going to be, like, 40 years down the line, and you and I are like...
a random email from Patrick Carney. Hey, check this out.
Check this out. look how stupid we are. But all right, well, I should probably wrap it up because it's probably hitting about an hour.
Yeah, probably getting close to an hour. We have a few more beers to drink before I leave, but
Yeah. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. If you tuned in this long, I really doubt it. But yeah, that was awesome.